And Andy Nance, the pride of Marin, a record of 18 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, 11 knockouts. He has never hit the canvas. Repeat, never been knocked down. His opponent tonight, Quiroz, a record of 22 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie, 15 knockouts. So, as I said, Nance has never gone down, but if he does go down, tonight might be the night.
Well, Dennis, you called it pretty accurately, and as pumped up as Andy Nance is, and as pumped up as this crowd is, so is Martin Quiroz. This man is ready for Andy Nance tonight.
Of course, the last time Andy Nance filled this place was months ago against Mario Rodriguez, and he ended that fight rather quickly and ended in about 3 rounds. Let's take you back now and look at that fight in retrospect. Take a look at the powerful pride of Marin, Andy Nance.
Rodriguez's head in his last few flurries.
Both fighters, good counter-punching, and a left hand by Nance, and down goes Rodriguez. Andy Nance with one. There's a left jab, and there's a right uppercut. Down with the left, and down goes Rodriguez. Rodriguez in serious trouble. That time again, Nance missing with the left, followed by the right, and down goes Rodriguez. Rodriguez will get up. Now, he was time. You got to look at Andy Nance, and you can tell now. I remember seeing this guy. You see the fighter in the ring that they just introduced. I talked to him this morning about Andy Nance. He says, "Who's Andy Nance? And how good is Andy Nance?" And I told him about him. And speaking of Andy, when we saw him, I saw him fight here about a year and a half ago. I think it was back in October, a year from October. Bruce, he wasn't that big, and he didn't even seem that strong. But everybody said, hey, he's got a knockout punch. That fight went the distance. Since then, he's put on a lot of strength. He looks like a guy who can put his opponent down, and he's become that kind of fighter. One interesting thing about this is that both fighters have previously fought a guy named Roberto Jerez. And the parallel is this: Nance escaped with a rather fortunate draw. He should have lost that fight. It was televised on ESPN, but you got to keep in mind he had 102-degree fever when he fought. Now, Quiroz knocked out Jerez, so you can look at it that way and say, well, let's see what's going to happen in this fight. Is that an advantage for Quiroz? I don't think so, because of the fact that it's 2 different times, 2 separate fights, and Nance, of course, had 102-degree fever.
It's a common link, but that 102-degree fever has a heck of a lot to do with it. Plus the fact that I believe that was Andy's debut on ESPN, and I'm sure he had to be feeling a lot of the jitters that go along with that, too. Andy Nance is a different fighter, Dennis. I think we've acknowledged that. He is a different fighter now than he was when he fought against Juarez. Without question, he is much improved from a confidence standpoint, from a strength standpoint, and from a skilled standpoint.
And, of course, he's ranked 2nd in the state, and Quiroz is ranked 4th in the state. And this fight is for the California Junior Welterweight Championship. So it's Nance's first title fight. He's got that on incentive on his side. Of course, Quiroz does as well. But Nance, maybe more importantly, has the support of some 2,182 paid fans here at the Marin Civic Center. We just got that number in. That translates into $28,970. And as I mentioned, well, the exact figure is $6,194.28. And not a penny of that is going to us, Bruce. $3,000 Quiroz will pick up. So win or lose, it's a pretty good check for both fighters as we get ready to get the introductions from promoter Joe Burke.
I got to tell you, too, Dennis, you don't like to talk too much about gut instincts, but I have one about this fight, and that is Quiroz is going to give Andy literally a fistful. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a very close one.
I talked to Andy earlier. I saw the weigh-ins this morning. I said, Andy, do you feel that this is a must fight for your career? He says, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say that it certainly could help. Take a look at the introductions. First, we're taking a couple pictures. But Andy was a very relaxed fighter this morning. He appeared confident. He said, hey, I'm ready to get in there and win this title.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it on. 12 rounds of boxing for the California Junior Welterweight Championship. Officials scoring at ringside, Joan Ortega and Jack Campbell. The man in charge, 6 championship bouts to his credit, referee Terry Smith. Counting at the bell and the knockdown, Harry Calder. Doctor in attendance at ringside, Dr. Smith Ketchum. And now the principals in tonight's feature event. On my left, out of the red corner, he weighed in today at exactly 140 pounds. He is the junior welterweight champion of Sonora from Ciudad Obregón in the great state of Sonora in Mexico. A great record, 24 wins, 16 by way of knockout, only 4 losses and 1 draw. Please welcome a great fighting champion, Martin Yaqui Quiroz. And on my right, out of the blue corner, he's wearing the purple trunks with the white stripes. He weighed in today at 139.5 pounds. He has a fine record. 18 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. From San Rafael, California, the pride of Marin, Andy Nance.
Joe Burke, the promoter of this fight, has placed a lot of faith in Andy Nance. He's very, very proud to have Marin hosting its very, very first championship fight. Now, this is not the biggest fight, believe it or not, Bruce, of Nance's opponent's career. He was at the Coliseum in a 10-round decision. He lost to Jose Luis Ramirez who is now the WBC lightweight champion. That was last year in Oakland.
He's got all the credentials. There's no question about that. These two fighters have not seen each other before, so Andy will come out punching. He does want to try to get as much of a feel as he can for Quiroz in the early going. We are going to see 2 very determined and well-prepared fighters.
Andy Nance, you remember, the last fight you saw here on Viacom 30 was the last time he was in the ring. He only needed, less than 3 rounds to do it. I believe the number was 154 of the 3rd round. Took apart Mario Rodriguez.
He certainly did. He knocked him cold.
And a lot of talk, Bruce, about whether or not Andy Nance is ready to go the distance. It's been a long time since he spent 10 rounds in a ring.
Well, Andy has been training most of the week going 12 rounds. He has had a very extensive week of training. He's been wearing out his sparring partners at Newman Gym. He's been running 5 miles a day. He's been eating a very strict diet. Andy Nance wants this fight.
And I mentioned that Rodriguez, both fighters feeling themselves out. Checking not Rodriguez, but Quiroz was in the ring with the now WBC lightweight champion. Well, you got to remember that Andy Nance has been in the ring with some pretty heavy company, not in the competitive nature, but as a sparring partner, Rocky Lockridge.
That's right.
Man who beat Boom Boom Mancini.
And he was down in Texas training with some real heavyweights, too.
Trying to get in with the right. Coming in with the sharp left. Trying to go after Andy Nance. We're in the first round. Capacity crowd. Filled against the walls. It's a good body punch by Quiroz. Andy Nance really not on the offensive yet, trying to measure his opponent, but I tell you, Quiroz, pretty quick guy out there so far. He is in the white trunks, Andy Nance in the purple trunks.
Quiroz from Sonora, Mexico. He appears to be very lightning fast. Andy Nance counters there.
I got to remember that the crowd is on Nance's side, so even if you see a punch that appears that it hits, it may not, and you'll hear the reaction of the crowd.
We have some type of an error with the judge, and they're going to bring the fighters both out. Somebody tapped.
Somebody hit a bell.
Right.
I don't know if there was a violation of the fighters. I think somebody rang the bell a little too soon.
Exactly. And it was not, it was somebody in the audience.
Andy Nance trying to get in with the left hand. There's a combination. What a counterpunch combination by Quiroz. Nance trying to come in with the left. This round number 1 ends, and these guys will be going at it. You can see that for the next couple of rounds. Andy Nance and Quiroz, that's the end of round 1, Bruce. Looked like it was just a feeler for Andy Nance that round.
Yeah, he was, but I think he got a feeling for Quiroz, and I think that, as you see right there, Andy did connect on the counter, but Quiroz is going to be a little bit stronger than Andy's accustomed to. There you see Martin Quiroz as they take a look at his eye. Both fighters in that first round feeling themselves out. And I think, if anything, Andy discovered that Quiroz is quick, he's strong, he's a seasoned boxer.
Well, if I recall right, Andy Nance in his last bout was about the same type fighter he was here in the first round. It was the second round that he began loading on Rodriguez. Third round, put him down 3 times before they said, that's it for Mario Rodriguez.
I don't believe this round's going to, this fight's going to end that soon. I really think that we're going to see a good 8 rounds in this fight. And I think it's going to be very important that Andy does score in the early rounds.
We're looking at Quiroz, I keep waiting for somebody to say, zip plane, zip plane. It's like the guy on, whatever that series was, Fantasy Island. Another delay. Andy Nance just measuring his opponent right now. Quiroz trying to get in there. Nance missing wildly with the left. Good left hands by Quiroz. Now the hard right. Really scoring heavily. Andy Nance is in trouble. Quiroz is going for it in the second round. Combinations to the head. Andy Nance has been hit hard. There's another hard right. Quiroz teeing away on Andy Nance in the second round. Nance is going to have to try to come back.
Real strong punches that time by Quiroz. He showed his strength and his speed. He is not intimidated by Andy Nance one bit.
Trying to go to the midsection now. Nance may be looking for a little bit of a breather.
I think Andy is a little bit surprised.
Quiroz just extremely quick, not just with the left, but with the right as well. Already Andy Nance's face puffing up. Boy, there's a lot of impact behind those punches of Quiroz.
Again, he's playing it very cautious right now. There you see the official warning Quiroz, no hits in the back.
Keep in mind, Bruce, and Andy Nance has never been knocked down. So
So he's obviously the guy that can take punches. Andy's going to have to protect his face. He can take the punches to the body. Good combination by Nance. Andy Nance beginning to score now against Rodriguez, but against Quiroz, but Quiroz not backing off. Good left and good follow. Nance's best combination of the fight. There he goes again. There's a good left by Nance. Then another good left. Rodriguez still coming right at him. Rodriguez is bleeding from the nose and above the right eye. Another good left by Nance. And the end of the round comes with a flurry of punches from Andy Nance, bringing the capacity crowd to its feet. Quiroz's left eye is bleeding rather heavily. There you see, there you see him taking a look at it, and here you see some exchanges by Andy. A strong, strong conclusion in the second round as he hits him with lefts and rights. Watch Nance back up and throw the left on several occasions here. Left was an extremely effective punch for Andy in the closing seconds of that round. And one of the strong signs of a boxer is the fact, Bruce, that he's never gone down. That he can absorb punches like Rodriguez was throwing, but yet regain his composure. Keep it. It's like Quiroz was throwing. I'm sorry, I'm back in the last fight. And come right back. And that is what Andy Nance has done. I agree with you, Dennis. I believe that Andy Nance can take the punches to the body, but I don't think Andy's going to stand up long if he lets him get hit in the face. He has been hit in the face a few times. There's a left by Quiroz and a combination by Quiroz, scoring on Andy Nance in the opening seconds of round number 2. He is too strong for Andy to take those punches in the face. Andy's going to have to cover up. Andy Nance is quick. That works in his favor. He's deceptive. Most fighters don't realize how fast he is until they've been hit by him. And he is powerful. That right didn't get a whole lot of Rodriguez, but you can see Nance is going to try to key on that right eye by Quiroz. Boy, I really apologize for that. Uppercut by Nance. And the crowd begins to chant for Nance. But Rodriguez, Quiroz on the attack. Quiroz's eye is continuing to bleed. And it looks like Andy Nance is going to be going after that. There you see the warning one more time about the punches in the back.